Hey there, motivated programmers. I am so excited about today's show for two reasons. Number one, that this is episode number 8 in this series and finishes this series of how to ship your hobby project in 30 days. This has been the greatest series. I have loved this so much. Personally, I have just found it transforming. I'm just crunched through an awesome side project that's really taking shape now, and maybe down the track we'll do a sort of episode 9, which is like a brag episode where we just include all the stuff that you guys have sent me about your own hobby projects and maybe show off a few of the things that you guys have built over this last time. We've been going for sort of about 3 weeks now, and I know that you'll be a fair way through your stuff, but it's just exciting to say, listen, we have got a set of stuff that we are hacking on and making progress on all the time. Like, super great. The second thing I'm really excited about is that today is a summary show, and I have our first kind of free giveaway thing, which is like an ebook, I guess, kind of thing, that just contains all the principles that we've talked about over the length of this series. So there's a link in the show notes where you can grab that. If you already subscribe to the Motivated Programmers, you'll get that in the next newsletter that goes out. But if you don't, make sure you use the link below, and then you can get that ebook, and also you can subscribe to that list, which is a super cool place to hang out. Okay, so today on the show I just want to review the sort of 3 big areas of what to build, the second area of how to build, and the third area of just how to be a finisher in what you build. So this is going to be an awesome little kind of hangout summary for the next 5 minutes, okay? So just strap yourself in. If you want to dive deeper on any of the topics that I'm going to talk about in this show, then make sure you go to the playlist and deep dive into whatever episode that talks specifically about that issue. So first of all, we started our series saying you need to know what you are going to build. And we said there are 3 fruitful areas that you can dive into for that. One is just something that you want to learn. I want to learn about mobile. I want to learn about cloud. I want to learn about some new language or some new framework or some new toolkit. That's the thing I want to learn. So that's the sort of front and center part of it. The second thing is that you need something that you want to use. So you need to build something you can dog food a little. So I gave examples of, I once built an SMS app that would send reminders to my friends to bring their sports clothes for the work lunch squash competition or whatever. But something that you want to use. I've got a friend right now who's building a little kind of tipping app for the football competition where you can tip the teams and get results and that sort of stuff. So something that you want to build and use, that's so motivating when it's the thing you're building is something that you actually want to use. And the third area we said, look, something that you want to reinvent, like that footy tipping thing my friend's building. There's already a commercial one, but he wants to learn about some technology. The commercial one's got a whole bunch of things that are a real pain to that group, and he wants to reinvent it in a kind of way that works better for him and his kind of cohorts, as well as learning about a new set of technology. So something to reinvent. I've rebuilt Twitter clones, like, half a dozen of those things in all kinds of languages. Because reinventing is sometimes really good because you have the mental model, you know really what the UI looks like. So it's very, very low-hanging fruit to learn about something new while building something that you already know. We said that once you've decided what you want to build, that you must scope the project. So we're going to say 30 days is our surge of stuff because that's a good amount of time to get something productive done that you can use, but also it has a kind of sunset that you're hustling towards. Otherwise it's kind of this unbounded thing that doesn't really have any oomph about it. So we said set the 30 days and just choose 4 features maybe that you want to implement in that 30 days and then get hustling, okay? So, and we said the next thing we want to do is once we've chosen our 4 features, was we were going to do just a basic wireframe on a whiteboard or on a piece of paper or on whatever kind of tools work for you, but not hardcore tools, not, oh yeah, I've just got to learn how to use this new wireframing toolkit before I get started, because that's all just distraction that takes you away from the whole getting stuff done. So just like the whatever you know, wireframe it out, and that's just to remove friction again. So when you sit down to code in your little coding time, you don't go, well, where should I get started? Well, if you've done your features, you know there's 4 things that you need to build, and you know that this is what it's going to look like, so there's no reason to not get started. You know all the things you need to know to get down to business. So once we talked about what to build, we then talked about how to build it. We said that how habits are way better than goals. Goals keep forcing you to ask, am I there yet? Am I there yet? Am I there yet? Am I there yet? And it takes a lot of energy and a lot of emotional drain to go to that place all the time. So we said, set a goal for your 30 days, for sure, that's fine. But every day, just concentrate on habits, getting the habit done. And we said you need to choose a trigger, some time in your day. Maybe it's your morning cup of coffee. Maybe it's when you get home from work. Maybe it's after dinner. Maybe it's when you sit down at lunch. But find some time in your day that is my trigger. When that happens, I know I go into my mode where I hustle for 25 minutes on my hobby project. And then we said when you sit down in your 25 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever you got, then you need to have a little ritual for that as well. So you've got your trigger, then you do your ritual. So your ritual is you open up your Trello board or your feature list or whatever you've done there, or your Word document or your piece of paper that you've blue tacked next to your monitor. You open that up and then you open up your Pomodoro timer and you set it for 25 minutes or you set your clock for 35 minutes or whatever time that you have for allocated. And you get those two things and then you look at the say, what's the next feature? And then you start work on the next feature. And that little ritual, that little habit will force you to take action every single day. And the thing is, you can't do that every day without making progress. So forget about the goal. Just concentrate on getting that done every day and the goal will come to you. The things you want in the 30 days, they will come back to you. And then we said, well, one thing that we wanted to make sure we did every week, as well as our habits for every day, one weekly habit was we wanted to post a screenshot. We wanted to send it to a friend. We wanted to post it on social media. We wanted to demonstrate to a work colleague your progress that you're up to. But find some way of putting your work on the fridge, because that just encourages you having a culture of shipping and showing your work. Because at the end of the day, we're building these things so we can level up our skills, but also so that we can make the world a bit of a better place as well, and brighten some other people's day. So that's just a part of that process. So one other thing we talked about was the importance of having a retro. So after you've posted your work, you do a little 90-second engines and anchors retro. What's working, what's not working? What's working, do it more. What's not working, try something else. Don't feel bad, just try something else. And each week, that way we can iterate on a better flow for how we're developing our stuff, work more effectively, work more productively. So that's an important part of it too, the little retro step. We talked about, well, we're going to fall off the horse sometimes. That's just the nature of being human. There are some days we're just going to fall off the horse. We're going to miss a couple of days. We're going to be sick. The kids are going to be sick. They're going to have to be away. The routine's going to be a mess and a wreck. And that's totally fine. So we said on those days, all we need to do is wake up tomorrow and say, I'm just going to go coding today. I'm going to get back on the horse today. I'm not going to feel any kind of self-condemnation or judgment. I'm not a naughty girl or a naughty boy that has to sit in the corner and feel bad for the last 3 days that I haven't done any work on. I'm simply just going to get back on the horse and get going again. Which brought this whole topic of self-compassion up, how we have this kind of inner troll inside of us that's going to try and keep telling us you're not going to make it, you've fallen off the horse, you've never finished this before, you won't finish it this time, you're not good enough, your work's not good enough, it doesn't look good enough. There's 1,000 reasons that will try and tell you, but just don't even listen to that, okay? Because you and I know that as loud as that voice is somewhere in your head, there's another voice in your head that says, I've got this. I can do this. This is fine. I'm just going to keep making progress every day, because I know if I turn the crank that at the end of these 30 days something is going to fall off the conveyor line. So we just talked about having some self-compassion, how being tough on yourself is an anti-pattern and will actually undermine your productivity. Awesome, that's fine. And then finally we talked about at the end of 30 days, let's make sure we demo to a real person. Let's go and demonstrate to someone what we've built and just be proud of our work, just enjoy the greatness of what you've built in the last 30 days because that's pretty amazing. You have built a piece of software out of nothing to the point where you can show people what you've built, and it might not look $1,000 worth and it might not look a $9 a month subscription worthy or whatever it is that people try and tell you is some measure of value, but you know that you've created that thing out of nothing in a side hustle, and that is tremendous value because it teaches yourself and your psyche that you are a finisher, and that is just a different kind of beast to be part of. And with that, we are at the end of our series. It has been such a fun time. Thanks so much for hanging out on the channel. I have such enjoyed all of the emails that you sent me. Please keep sending them. If you're just joining the program now, please keep sending me stuff that you've been producing, or put it on social media and tag me in it, or whatever you do. But it has just been wonderful to see the progress that all these girls have been making. It's been wonderful, and I really hope that we can do some more stuff together down the track on this channel. Surging and producing more great work. It's been awesome. Thanks for hanging out. And don't forget to download the free stuff. Or if you're on the mailing list, just wait till next Monday, you'll get a copy.